What's up guys, today we're going to be retouching this image that I got from internet, and without wasting much time I want us to start editing straight up. I love the image in particular because of the way it looks. I love the lighting and the model's attitude. By the way, the model, you can also find her on Instagram. I'm dropping a link to her Instagram profile down in the description. And I love her attitude. I love the way the eyes are looking. And let's start working on this. First thing I want to do is to work on her eyes, whiten up a bit. So I'm going to duplicate this layer here by clicking Ctrl J for Windows and Command J for Mac, and then I go into camera raw filter. This is where I prefer working on eyes because it retains originality after that. So I'm going to select this guy here and then pick up my brush, and then let me zoom in and mask over her eyes. That's nice. Yeah, got it there. Do over this as well. So after that is done, then I work on the exposure. So I want to do this, increase the whites. It's already looking bluish, so let me just see what I'll do with the exposure. Right, that's okay. Let me try desaturating a bit. And before and after, there's not much difference, so we can just leave it there and then click enter for us to open in Photoshop. I'm not working on anything light because I love the way the light is already splitting her face, you know. This is a one light setup. I'm not the photographer here, so I believe that this is a one light setup. I love the shadows and the highlights, and I can already see what I will achieve from my frequency separation by the time I'm done with this. So next thing we're going to do is to remove the skin blemishes. So this is going to take a lot of time, so let's see what we achieve. You don't want your brush to be bigger than the pimple too much. By the way, if you want to skip, you can skip this part, but I advise you to stay back because I may have some tips that I'll be sharing. So you get to work on this, and it's going to take some time. And one thing you always want to do is to work on everything on a different layer. So I started my image with the background layer, working on her eyes, which I was very certain of. That's okay, it's very fine and it's okay. I decided not to duplicate anymore in order to work on skin blemishes. So I'm working on skin blemishes using the same layer that I worked on the eyes with, because I'm very okay with the way the eyes came out. So at any time you have a mistake that you've done, working on different layers can help you to deactivate or delete a particular layer that you did a mistake on, instead of having everything on one layer. You find it difficult going back to a particular point in time where you were comfortable or okay with your image. So it's called non-destructive editing, instead of just working on everything using one layer. But with this particular blemish that we have here, it's not everything that this spot hidden brush tool will work on. So there are some areas that we have to use the patch tool, but let's get done with the areas that we think this guy can handle first before we move to the patch tool. So you now see that this particular area here, I don't want to increase my brush too big, because by the time I do this it may damage my skin, so I don't want it. So I undo that, and I'll be using the patch tool in that particular circumstance there. So let me also remove this. So I don't know the photographer that shot this, but however, if you know him, you can tag him down in the description. And if you have any further questions you would like to ask, don't forget to also drop them down in the comment section. I'll be attending to your comments. In case you don't follow up with this particular retouching very well, I'll also be doing another retouch. I'll be uploading the 2 videos at once, so just stay tuned. Alright, so at this point I think I'm okay with what I've gotten with my spot brush, or what do you call it again, with my spot filling brush tool. And let's see this before and after. You can see that before and after looks great. So now it's time for the patch tool. So let's see what happened here. And the funny thing that is happening here is the fact that this particular patch is happening just at the boundary of the highlight and the shadow, so I don't want to move it to another place that will ruin my lighting. So now we have this. So I can see this place also needs movement. Good. So we are fine, and next thing we want to do now is to start our frequency separation. So starting frequency separation, I would like to merge these 2 layers together, and by merging both of them together I click Command Shift E or Control Shift E for Windows users. So I'll come to my Retouch Academy and then I click on 8-bit, since it's an 8-bit image. So my radius, I want to reduce this radius down a bit. So let's try 4 to see. So I just want it to be a bit blur, you know, so that I can still see details of what I'll be doing. I think 4.5 also works. So I'll uncheck this layer and then select my mixer brush tool. So from here I'll start stroking. So what you want to do is, let me use a diagram to show you. Let me use a brush tool to show you what you want to be doing in this case. So I'll select red. So what you want to do in this case is you start from the highlight, this particular area, press and hold and move out a bit to the shadows. You come back here, press and hold, move out to this shadow where you see the boundaries setting. You come back here. So that is how you stroke your brush to this guy. Where you see the highlight, you do the highlight just like that. This is another area of highlight. So from up to down, your brush shouldn't be too big. It shouldn't be bigger than the highlight area. At this area, because of the eye bag here, you want to start from this highlight, push into the shadow. You want to start from this highlight, move down a bit. You want to start from this highlight, move up to here. Arrow is showing. You want to start from here, move, and then you are stopping at this boundary. Let's call this particular guy, this is going to be our boundary. So for here, these are boundaries, these are boundaries, these is a boundary. And then the shadows, you also want to come to the shadows and mix things up, you know. So from here, stroke up this way. So here you are stroking in a circular motion the shadows. You are stroking in a circular motion. So by the time you are done, here is also circular. These are your shadows. So by the time you are done, you want to now mix up. You want to now mix up, you know, this color here is showing your, the purple is showing your boundaries. The light green is showing your shadows, and the red is showing your highlights. So by the time you are done, this purple here, which is your boundary, you start from inside, stroke towards the highlight, start from inside, stroke towards the shadows, start from here to the shadows, start from the boundary to the highlight again. So you're trying to now mix up between the shadows and the highlight in order to bring a smooth transition. So that's just how you stroke your brush. So let's go back into what we are supposed to do. So I'll come back to my color mixer brush tool, and then I deleted this area. So I'll use the eraser tool to clean up this guy. Eraser is E. So opacity 100. What's happening? So, oh, we need this guy up. Alright, so now that I'm done with this, then I come back and select my color mixer brush tool. So just like I demonstrated, I'm going to start from the highlight on her forehead where I'll be stroking. So using the demonstration that I showed earlier, that's what I'm trying to do now. So this is what's happening. This is before, this is after. Let's continue. So you can see that there's a boundary forming around the highlight here already, but we're going to attend to that shortly. So let's go to the shadows now. So like I said, it's going to be like a circular motion moving around. So you can see there's a clear boundary that has formed on her forehead, which is bringing a circle just around. Yeah, so we're going to attend to that. So let me smoothen up the shadows a bit. So let's see. This is before and after. So you can see that the skin is already smoothing out very fine. So I want to make go away the boundary that has been formed there clearly. So I'm now mixing, I'm pulling from the shadows to the highlights, and I also pull away from the highlights to the shadow areas. So I think that's fine now. So now I'm going to the highlight on her nose. That's fine. I'm done with that. Now I'll go to this area. So I'm starting from the highlight to her eye bags. Alright, so to this area now. So my fan on my laptop is blowing faster now because of the process that is involved with this. So if you're hearing any unwanted noise, my apologies. Hopefully I get to improve on my audio quality. So now that you can see there is a boundary that has been formed here properly, I want to brush over from the shadows to the highlight and vice versa. So that's it, in order to bring out a smooth transitioning from the two areas. So let's see what we've achieved so far. This is before, and this is after. Before, after. So let's go back from the beginning. Alright, I merged my pimples already, my blemishes. So let's come down here and work on this particular area. So with this, let's forget here. So with this, I think we are done with our frequency separation. What do you think about this retouching? Let me know about it in the comment section. Rate this retouching on a scale of 1 to 10. So the image looks sharp and there will be no need to increase the sharpness, and I won't be doing a dodge and burn for this. For me, I find it very okay, but if you are interested in a dodge and burn for this particular image, there is another video for the dodge and burn which is going to come up after watching this video. So if you are interested in learning how to do your dodge and burn, you can stay tuned for the next video. If you found this video helpful, I really appreciate that you give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you've subscribed to my channel before, don't forget to turn on your post notifications so that you don't get to miss my upcoming videos, and don't forget to share this video to your friends on social media. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my link to my Instagram is down in the description. You can search Aleba Photography on Instagram. Thank you guys for sparing the few minutes of your time to watch this video.